Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial for the October Alpha test of Starborne Sovereign Space. In this tutorial I'm going to go through the installation process, the account creation and the very first steps of Starborne, as well as covering all the basics so you can be self-sufficient from there on. So I've already downloaded the MSI installer program. I'm just gonna use the default installation directory, and I suggest you guys do that as well. Yes to that, and then we're gonna launch the patcher. As you can see, we've already got a shortcut for the patcher, but this alpha is gonna last 12 weeks from the 18th of October till the midnight of January 10th. At the end of that time, one of the alliances should have the most strategic hex points and will be declared a winner, and only alliances win the game. So you should make sure to join us on Discord and hook up with other players in your region, because you gotta play together to win. Alright, and now now we're downloading the game itself. We've installed the game, and the patcher is now updating the game to the latest version. Let me see, does this work? So this is an alpha. You will see bugs. You will see things that should work but don't, or work not as intended. We have done our very best to eliminate as much of these as possible. The game is in a very functional state. So I do encourage you guys to keep up with the changes. We're going to patch it at least once during this alpha with fixes and updates. So here you will see the updates whenever we have them. Well, that's nice. Hey! First bug. Almost done. Right, now we just click the play button. And voila! Starborne. Oh man. So what you have to do to begin with, it's going to direct your attention. Here we will post some news, so whenever you log in, it's a good policy to keep an eye on this. If there's anything we need to let you guys know about, new videos, new information. Here in the settings you can set the volume of the game, and you can change the resolution in case this does not fit your screen. I'm just going to press Alt Enter, put it into full screen mode. The first thing you do is to create an account. Starborne tutorial at gmail.com. This is not an actual email I use. I just created it for this game explicitly, this tutorial. So you create an account, creates the player, and you have received a confirmation mail at starbornetutorial@gmail. Be sure to click it to receive your in-game rewards. Proceed to log in with your new account. So now I can type in here starbornetutorial@gmail.com and my password, and I can log in. So this is your account email address is unconfirmed. Please find the time to click the confirmation link that was sent to you during the registration process, or click here to request a new link. So you don't have to confirm your account, but I'm going to show you later why you should. So this isn't filled in, but this is going to be filled in, but I'm just going to accept this. This is the server that we've got up going at the moment. When you guys join, you're only going to be able to see the Starborne Alpha server. Joining the server. So my display name is going to be Tutorial Snoogums, because my in-game name is usually Snoogums. Oh no, it's always Snoogums. You can left-click this guy here and choose. It's going to be this Asian dude. And choose how you look, and these are the starting sections. There are certain sections where you begin the game, so if you and a few friends want to start close to each other, you choose the same starting sector. I'm just gonna choose, I'm just gonna go random. So this is what you see when you log in for the first time. This is your little space station. You can press Ctrl H to remove the UI. Not very helpful at the moment, but in case later you want to admire the game a little bit. This is my closest sun or star. Now the first thing you guys need to understand is how you gain resources in the game. So if I double click an empty hex, the UI down here disappears, and if I double click my station, the UI comes back up. This means that I've selected this station. I can also click here to select it, and when you have more stations you will see more of these, each for each station, and you can navigate your empire here. I'm just going to press Ctrl 1, and you see that the number 1 came up here. That means that now 1 is the hotkey for this station. If I go far away somewhere and zoom in over here, I can just press 1 and to select my station, and 1 to zoom into it. Wait, let me just show you that again. So if I double click here, I can press 1 to select it without moving my camera, and then I press 1 again to move to it. I can also use the the left and right arrows to select them, and down to zoom to them, the down arrow. The resources that you generate in the game to build anything are displayed down here. This is my headquarters station. This is what we call, this is metal, gas, crystal, and labor. Labor is kind of special. I'll deal with that in a moment. But these 3 here are the ones you should focus on to begin with. In the building tabs, these are all the buildings inside of my station. And they are locked depending on the level of the station. I only have a level 1 station, and I need to get to level 2 to unlock these buildings here, to level 3 for these buildings, and level 4 for these buildings. And this is at the bottom tier. You can only take your stations to level 4. To build anything, any building, you can see that these are empty. These are just wireframes. These haven't been built. The plus icon here means that I can afford to build this building. And to build it, I just select it, click it, left click it, and then do construct, and it goes into my queue. Now anything you do in Starborne takes time. This building, the level 1, takes roughly 3 minutes to build, and any building that has 5 minutes or less of its timer, you can rush it by pressing this button. Voila, it's built. I have unlocked an achievement. So the best way to start the game is to follow the achievements. The achievements are both up here, and when you complete an achievement you get this notification here. I'm just going to click the notification, bring up the achievement window, and this blue exclamation mark means that it's completed. You can also see there's a blue exclamation mark here as well to show you that you have a completed achievement that you haven't claimed the rewards for. So build a production building. And the rewards for this are these 2 cards. I'm going to claim these rewards. And before I show you the cards, I'm going to go back to the buildings and kind of tell you a little bit about the classification of buildings. This is the command center. It is unique. These buildings up here are all kind of unique. These buildings you can't build unless you have the specific cards to unlock them. And this building accepts 1 special card, which I don't currently have. On the left side, these are what we call the production buildings. They have these gray borders, and that's why I got the achievement. I built 1 of these production buildings. And then we have military buildings. They have green borders, the domain buildings that have blue borders, and industrial buildings that have orange borders. Military buildings help you offensively and defensively. Domain buildings, they have to do with labor, influence, and spying and sabotage, while industrial buildings help you produce more resources and to freight resources between your stations and to change resources. Like if you have one resource and you need another, you can transmute them. So I got these cards. So I'm just going to click the cards tab of my station, and it's empty. All the cards you get go into your inventory. You can enter it by pressing I. And here I can see the new cards that I got. I've got Willie Gamish, and it is a station card. And if I put it on a station, I get 20 metal, gas, and crystal per hour. And he lasts 3 days. He also makes all buildings faster to build. So all building timers are reduced by 15%. Quite a nice card. And then we have the Wither Crux. The Wither Crux gives me 95 metal, gas, and crystal per hour, but it only lasts 3 hours. This is a rune card for stations, and these are the two types of time cards that we have. You have character cards and rune cards. Character cards usually last days, while rune cards usually last hours. So I'm just gonna go and go to the character card slot here, and put game is on. And if you notice, I've got 138, what is that? Yeah, 130, 130. So I'm just gonna assign this guy here, and look, I've increased my production per hour, and I'm gonna put it in the rune card as well and increase it even further. Now this is the resource cap of your station. You cannot have more than 3,000 of each of these three. It does not affect the labor, as I said before. Labor is kind of special. I'll deal with that a little bit later. But if you reach the cap with any of these, the surplus just goes into nowhere. You don't get the surplus. The second thing about the station, aside from the buildings, well, technically the third thing, the buildings and resources. God damn it, the fourth thing because of the cards. Yeah, okay, anyway, I shouldn't keep count. So, here's one thing to note. Your stations produce influence, and the way they get influence is from the buildings they build. You can see that this resource vault level 1 gives me 1.2 station influence generation. And all the buildings and outposts that you build for your station contribute to this effect here. And once you reach this threshold, you can upgrade the station for the cost displayed there. And now I have this beautiful level 2 station. And I've unlocked the level 2 buildings. And I've also unlocked this achievement, upgrade a station. And I'm going to claim the reward. I've got 2 cards for that, and I also get 500 metals, gas, and crystals. So whenever you claim an achievement, the rewards are deposited into the station you've currently selected. So later in the game, when you have more than one station, when you claim the rewards, they will go into the station that you have selected. So I'm just gonna wait, hang on, 3,000. Yeah, I can take this. So I'm just gonna claim this reward, and I get these cards as well. You can click these cards to inspect what they do. This is the cyborg workers. It's very good. It further decreases the building time of military domain and industry buildings by 25%, and the station harvest yield is increased by 50%. So I'm going to explain to you what that does. This is a rook mesa. This is a fleet card. We're going to deal with fleets in a moment. I'm just going to claim this reward, and here it is. So this card fits this slot here. This is the system slot. There's supposed to be a tooltip here, but never mind. So I'm going to put this card on the station as well. Look at the resources per hour that I'm generating right now, and they increased now. And this is because if you mouse over my station, you can see these green hexes get lit up. These hexes get lit up. This is because the station has a harvest radius. It is one hex radius. It will harvest any resources in a 1 hex radius. So whenever you place a new station, it will always gonna harvest all the stuff that's directly next to it. And this gives it a 50% bonus on that yield. So here we have these view modes. We are now in the standard view mode, and if we zoom out, you can see all the starting location sectors. And I'm just going to press 1 and go back to my station. This is what we call the exploration view mode. Everything turns pretty blue. I will deal with this view mode in a moment, but what I wanted to tell you was the resource view mode. So here now we can see the yield of all the hexes in the game. So if I mouse over this hex, I can see that it gives me 40 metal and 40 gas. And you can also see these bars here, which give you a quick indication of what they do. And you can also see these lines, which means that the station is harvesting these hexes. And then we have the political view mode, and I will explain that in a moment. So now that we've got some basics understood. We're harvesting more resources. I'm gonna show you what's the best way to start your game, and it is by all means is to follow the achievements. Let me see. I am going to go for the tutorial one. So have a refinery of each type at level 1. So the refineries are these buildings here. I've already built the metal refinery, so I'm going to build the gas refinery and the crystal refinery. Because they take less than 5 minutes, and we already have, I pressed escape there to go out of that. This guy is helping us. He's reducing the timer by 15%. So I'm just going to go and hurry these buildings. And you see that I have completed this task. This is because your capital station starts... No, this is not a refinery. Never mind. So I'm going to go to the achievements and claim my rewards. It's 2 more cards. So this is Natasha Fair. She is a character card. And this is Amper Exosuit. We have yet to design these cards better. You will see a lot of unreadable text. Never mind that, just read the text on the right side. So this is an engineering card that gives me 30 of everything per hour. Let me see. I'm going to press I and go to inventory. Oh, wait. I didn't press claim reward, that's why it didn't come up. Okay, so I'm claiming the reward, and I go to my engineering slot, and now I have the Amper Exosuit here. And notice down here, I'm gonna push it. Now we're above 300 per hour. Pretty nice of each. Okay, we still have no card for this slot. We will get one later, but we did get also Natasha Fair. Now this is a different kind of character from Willy Gamies, and because I can only have one character, I'm just gonna keep Willy Gamies on for now. So let's go and finish the tutorial achievements. So we need to upgrade the warehouse, and then it's asking you to do domain path basic, military path basic, and industry path basic. And that just means that you have to build any of these buildings. These are all level 1 buildings, but pay heed to the time cost of these buildings. You see, this one takes 1 hour and 46 minutes to complete. And we don't want to build a building right now that takes so long. We want to build that building when we step away from the game for a little bit to utilize our time as best we can. So I'm just going to build this smelting plant. It's going to give me +7 metal, gas, and crystal per hour. It only takes 11 minutes. And we also had an achievement to raise our warehouse. So I'm just going to build 1 level here as well. And you can only build 2 buildings at a time, unless you find this card called Analemma, which I don't have, which gives you the 3rd building queue option. So while these buildings are building, let's go take a look at the tutorial achievements. And we're gonna produce a ship. And to produce a ship, you go to the shipyard. These are the 4 basic ship types you can build to begin with. This is the corvette. It is the basic attack unit. This is the patrol ship. It is the basic defense unit. This is the industrial. You use this guy it has a large cargo capacity, much more than any other unit, and you use this to build stuff. And this is the scout ship, which you use to explore the world around you and to spy and to sabotage. So I'm just going to build 1 corvette. It takes 5 minutes. I'm going to go back to achievements and I'm going to see fleets. No, wait, tutorial. And it says here, create a new fleet. And the reward for that is 10 corvettes. And to create a fleet, you go up to your fleets tab here. You can press F. And you go, this is the list of all your fleets and the cards you have on your fleets. You have the size of the fleet, how many units are inside it, the type of it, the name of the officer, and how much labor it costs to keep this fleet operational. Labor comes into play here, as well as buildings. If I mouse over this building here, you can see that it's currently consuming 2 labor, and if I upgrade it, it's going to consume 4 labor. And you need to have labor for everything that you build and all units you put inside of fleets. Just building a unit and having it delivered into your hangar, where I have no units at the moment, costs no upkeep, no labor upkeep. But once I put those units inside of fleets, I have to start paying upkeep for them. So the achievement is to create a fleet. I'm going to press F and go down here, and you can only have 16 fleets at maximum. Currently I have 5 fleets up. I'm going to create a new fleet. It's going to be a Corvette fleet. I can do this to get a random name, or I can just do tutorial dude. I only have 1 station, so I cannot select another station to create the fleet at. So I'm just going to press confirm here, and now I have an empty fleet. But I also finished this achievement, this one here, create a new fleet, and when I claim it, I'm gonna put it on hangar. Hangar is where all your unfleeted units go. So when I claim it, you're gonna see these 10 units appear there. And the way to put these into the fleet, if I go to fleets, and the Corvette fleet is here, because I have units in the hangar of this station, I can just drag this guy up, and that's it, they're in the fleet. However, there is a faster way to enter this fleet tab with this unit selected. I just right click it, and now you see he's on top, he's selected, and I can interact with him right away. And I've just removed all the units from the fleet, and they are now back in the hangar. There's also the third way to do this. I'm just going to hold in shift, and I'm going to scroll the units. So just scroll up and down, I can put them in and out of the fleet. Right, now that I have a fleet of 10 Corvettes, I'm going to show you every time that a new player joins the game, this little NPC guy spawns next to him. And they're not all the same, but they do all have the same amount of defenders, which are 5 patrol ships. In the achievements, under the conflict, tutorial, general fleet, where is this? Okay, so there is an achievement for using the 2 types of attacks that we have, and I'm going to get the achievement once I do this. So I'm going to select by left-clicking the fleet, and I'm going to right-click this Marauder NPC, go to Fleet Operations, and this is deploy. That means that I'm going to just dock my fleets at these stations. However, I cannot because I don't have docking rights to dock at this station, and I don't want to anyway. So there are 2 types of attacks, assaults and raids. Assaults allow units that have certain types of damage to bomb stations. But when you do assaults, you don't steal any resources. So if you do raids, you cannot bomb stations, but you do steal resources. So if I right click my fleet again, and go to fleet details here, you see that my cargo space is 100. That means that I have 10 for each unit, and if I raid this station, I will fight all the defenders there, and I will steal up to 100 resources. But I'm not going to do that for now, because I'm in the know, and I'm putting you in the know now. There is an achievement for doing an assault, and I'm going to do that right away. So now we have this movement line. The assault is going to go over here. These 10 guys are going to kill all the defenders, and these level 1 NPCs, they never respawn the defenders. So I'm fine now, but to select my, remember these are the industrials. These have 120 each. I have 360 cargo space for these 3. And I'm going to let them follow in a raid movement, which means that they're going to steal everything. The 10 Corvettes are going to wipe out the defenders, and the 3 industrials are going to arrive afterwards and steal all the resources they can. So in the movements here, or by pressing M, you can see all the movements that you have in your empire. They have a speed 7, and they're going to land in 16 minutes, while these guys go at a speed 3 and going to land in 40 minutes. Now our building here is below 5 minutes, so I can hurry that along. And I have unlocked the achievement of Industry Path Basic. Before I claim that reward, I'm just going to finish up this raiding versus assault. So in the beginning, you're going to be raiding a lot. You should try to raid every NPC you can find anywhere. This is another player who's been here for quite a while longer than I have. He's a level 3 station. Here we have another player, and here we have another NPC. You start with ESA protected. For 7 days, you cannot be attacked, and you cannot attack players that have ESA. Or you cannot attack other players, but you can raid all the NPCs around you, and you should do so. Yes. Okay. So I'm raiding. I've hurried the building, and I've got 2 achievements now. The Industry Path Basic. This is going to give me 300 of each. This card here, and 10 industrials. Fantastic. So now I have 10 more industrials in my hangar. Having them in my hangar doesn't do anything. That's not helping me at all. So I'm just going to press F and go to the fleets up here. And I'm going to create a new fleet. And it's going to be an industrial fleet. I'm going to put all 10 units inside. Confirm it. And now I have 10 more industrials. And I'm going to send them on their way. I'm also going to raid. So all of these units, if I press M for movements, I can see this one is raiding, this one is raiding, and they're going to steal all the resources they can from this guy here. Okay, so we're making resources, we're building houses, buildings. So now, wait, hang on, I've got another achievement. Produce a ship. Yes, we built another corvette. So that's 1 card for that. However, I do know there is an achievement for building 10 of each of these. So I'm just going to click here, press 9. I'm going to produce 9 more of these. So this is going to take an hour. That's fine. I'm just gonna go to my. Actually, I'll deal with this queue once this is completed. Let's check our inventory. We have these new cards. I was gonna tell you a little bit about this card. So this is Plasma Harvester. It is a fleet card, and it only fits industrial fleets. What it does, it allows you to harvest solar flares. All the stars in Starborne, they will periodically spawn solar flares, and if you have an industrial fleet with a card that gives you plasma harvesting, you can harvest those flares for resources. We can't see any right now because we do not have a scan probe on any of these stars, so we're not monitoring these stars, so we don't see what's happening with them. And the way that we place scan probes in the game is that we take one of these scout units. We right-click this hex underneath the star, we just do scan. And you see the scan surrounding area for anomaly, scan strength is 1.25. Distance is 7 hexes. These units are the fastest moving units in the game, and they're going to be going at a 12 hexes an hour. It's going to take 35 minutes to go over there. Now, these scan probes do not only reveal solar flares, they also reveal missions. And missions are a vital part of the game. I'm gonna go to the exploration mode, and I'm just gonna press space once. I can cycle through these view modes by pressing space. So I'm gonna stop at the exploration view mode, and everything's this blue. So I'm just gonna take this scout here. I'm gonna send him to the hex next to the station. We're not gonna go too far. I'm gonna tell him to put down a scan probe over there. Let's just press M. I'm gonna see it only takes about 4 minutes. It's fantastic. But I'm gonna take this 3rd guy and I'm gonna do a little hex. I'm gonna scan the hex directly beneath my station. And that happens almost instantly. And what happened there is that I got this little heat map. And when I mouse over any hex, the gray hex shows me where I have a scan probe, and if I mouse over it, you can see the radius of the scan probe. And that means that it's looking for signals in its radius. And whenever it detects signals, you get a little heat map. And the warmer the heat is, the more likely it is that the hex contains a mission. So I'm going to take this guy here that just scanned over there. I'm just going to scan another hex directly next to my station, because these are really quick. Wait, hang on. I'm going to press M. I'm going to cancel this movement, you have 3 minutes to cancel any movement you make. After 3 minutes, you cannot cancel anymore. So I'm just going to wait till he gets back here, because I completed the achievement of performing a scan operation. So I'm going to claim that, and that gives us this card, the Veteran Scout card. It's a 3-day character, and it increases the base scan of the fleet by 8. So if you see when I mouse over here, there are 2 types of things that I'm detecting with my scan strength. It's structures and missions. The station currently is employing a 20 scan strength structure scan, but it doesn't look for missions. But by placing the scan probe here, I'm looking for missions with 1.25 strength, while I'm detecting structures for 21.25. Yeah, this guy should be back. Let me see. He should become. Yeah, there he is. Now he's back. So I'm gonna right-click him. Gonna go to the. He comes up. I thought it's Lieutenant Conrad, and I'm gonna go to the car. Let me see. Oh, I didn't claim the reward again. Lol. Yes, it's gonna claim the Veteran Scout. Right-click the guy. Go to character slot. I'm gonna place this guy on. So now I'm going to scan, and the scan strength that I'm applying will be stronger. And the thing is, overlapping scan probes, they have their scan strength combined. So I'm placing one scan probe over here and one scan probe over here, and they will both, their scan strength will accumulate, so that any of the hexes here that have missions on, eventually I'm going to find them. Okay, this building is done. So I can hurry it up. It's below 5 minutes. It gives me the achievement of upgrading the warehouse. It's 300 of each. Just gonna make sure I have plenty of room. Yes. I'm gonna move from the exploration view mode to the normal view mode. I have room for these. Oh, we got a system card. Decreases the building construction time by 20%. That's fantastic. So I'm gonna claim this. I'm gonna go to the cards, and it conflicts with the cyborg workers. Let me see. So I'm gonna keep the cyborg workers, and I'm gonna use this later because I want the extra resources I get from this guy. So achievements, tutorial. So we have yet to discover a mission. That's gonna happen soon enough. Domain path basic or military path basic. So military path basic is gonna give me 10 more of these and a rating card. While the domain path is going to give me 10 of these and a mission card. So the best fleets to run missions are these defender fleets. Grab the buildings. So I am going to build level 1 of all of these. Level 1s are pretty quick, so I can hurry them along. And I just happen to know that once I've built these 3 here, I have a conveyor line of each type at level 1. So this is crystal conveyor line, metal conveyor line, and canister conveyor line, which gives gas. So I have increased the production of these resources. I'm going to claim the reward. It's another wither crust. That's going to come in handy, because if I go to stations, I can see that I have 2 hours and 37 minutes of my current wither crux, and I can replace it again because I've got, if I press I, go to inventory, I have another wither crux once that one expires. So we've created buildings, we've completed some achievements, we have scanned. I'm going to find a mission and show you how a mission is done. So here you can see this gray icon here. This is a fleet event. It's going to be active 1.5 hours. You should always complete your fleet events, because they are going to give you special cards that you need to upgrade your outposts. If I go back to buildings, you can see we have buildings, outposts, buildings, outposts, buildings, and Outpost. So Outposts are unlocked by certain buildings, and they are built outside of the station, and you use your industrials to build them. Ooh, I've just discovered a mission. I'm just going to go to the exploration view mode, and there we go. This red hex shows us that we found a level 2 mission. Let me see. What is the reward for this? A munition cell. Okay, this one helps us do a mission. This is a very good card, actually. And the Blaze exosuit. So, let's claim this reward. This is the hardpoint slot, and I'm going to put the munition cells on these. So what this card does is that it gives every unit in the fleet +5 offensive firepower and +5 defensive power, but only when doing missions. And it also increases the fleet escort strength by 1. I'm just going to show you how this applies to doing missions. If I right click the mission, do view mission, you can see this is the reward I get from completing the mission. It requires 1 defensive fleet and 2 escorts. So if I click this fleet, we can see that we have a total of 33 firepower, defense firepower, while the minimum to do the mission is 600. So right now, this mission is a little bit out of reach for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the shipyard, and I'm going to build 10 more of these. And I'm also going to go back to the achievements. Yeah. And in the tutorial, you're going to see the domain basic path gives me 10 of these as well. And another card that helps decidedly to do missions, the Sentinel 7 card. This is a timed card, whereas the current card on the... I right click this guy to get him up. On the current card is a permanent card. So I'm going to go to the shipyard. I'm building these 10. Go to the buildings, and because the achievement was domain path basic, complete a new station building in domain path. So I'm going to go back to buildings. I'm just going to press B, and the building I'm going to build is the data bureau. This building helps me to do missions. It lowers the recommended strength of missions and events, and once I get it to level 10, all missions I do from this station, the escort requirement is lowered by 1. So missions require you to... Wait, I was going to build that. Yeah. What the building also does is it unlocks the scanner outpost. I'm going to go into outpost in a little bit. But first I'm building this data bureau, and I'll be able to hurry it in 1.5 minutes. So I've actually found 2 more missions. So I'm just going to zoom a little bit out. It's a little bit better to see the missions there. I've got a level 1 mission, another level 1, and you see the shield. That means that it's a defensive mission. Requires 1 defense fleet. If you click this view mission, requires 1 offense fleet and 1 escort. So this is a defensive fleet, so I can't do this mission. However, I have 1 corvette here, and I've already finished 1 of my 9 remaining corvettes, and I can deliver the completed ships. So now I have 2 of these. I go back to fleets, I create a fleet. It's going to be a corvette fleet. I'm going to put both units into it. Let's get a better name. Lieutenant Sosa. That means sauce in Icelandic. So now I have these 2 guys. If I do the view mission, it says I have 12. I have 1 offense fleet, but I only have 33. I still can't reach the minimum required. So let me see if I've got a card to help me out here. +4 offense. So let me see what it looks like now. 41 out of 100. So we're still missing a few units. Wait, hang on. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. I'm just gonna switch view mode with the space button. There we go. Domain path basic is done. And I'm gonna claim this reward. Now I have 10 of these and 1 of these here. So I can scroll these in here. Let me see. View mission. 30. 121. Now I'm able to do the mission. However, you can see that I don't reach the recommended mission strength I need. I do surpass the minimum, and the minimum has gone down from 197 because of the building I just built, the data bureau. So you still get to complete the mission. However, because you don't reach the recommended strength, you have a return speed penalty. You're gonna go there, at your optimal speed, but you're going to return slower. And any player can find any mission in the game and complete them, so you're in direct contention with other players to find and complete those juicy high-level missions. This guy's returned. Now, as said before, these guys, they find missions. They also spy. And I'm going to use him to spy on this NPC here. I've got him selected. I'm going to right-click the NPC. So if I go to political view mode, it's easier to see the axis of other players. So I'm just going to right-click his guy, go to Fleet Operations, do Recon. And Recon means that I'm going to spy on the station. And once he lands, I'm going to get a report into my messages box, which will tell me a little bit about the station and what's inside it. So just going to go to the movements, take a big quick look at my movements. This guy is landing in 9 seconds. That's exciting. Let's see, it's 10 dudes. Yes, this is the guy who's going to clear him out. This is returning home. Okay. So he's almost landed. There he is. Perform assault operation. Just going to go to the messages. Assault inconclusive. I used 10 ships. Used 0 ships. Huh. That's weird. Should have been 5 there. Anyway, I win. There are no more defenders. And I have completed the achievement to perform an assault operation. And from now on, I'm not going to use the assault. I only did it to complete the achievement because it gives me 100 prestige and this card here, which increases the offensive firepower of my units. So I'm going to claim this reward. And now I'm going to show you what to do with prestige. This is your prestige count. I've got 100 prestige. You can also see that in your inventory. And you use prestige to create cards. First, I'm going to break down a card. So this... So I'm just going to take this gas laser here, and I'm going to break him down for 10 prestige. However, the first time you break down a card, you get an achievement that gives you another 100 prestige. I'm going to claim that reward. I'm going to go back to inventory by pressing I. Now I have 210 prestige, and if I click show all cards, you can see every card that's in the game. Not all cards have artwork yet, but that's going to be amended soon. And the card that I want to create, which card? Well, I'm just going to save that a little bit. But once you have clicked show all cards, you can just click any card and do craft to create it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to save that a little bit. Go into this guy is doing. So my station is missing a system card. So I'm going to go to inventory, show all cards, look for system cards, and I can afford to build rare cards and common cards. Right, this card. Oh yeah, my station needs to be level 2, so I should be able to. No, this is the this is the structure slot, not the system. Sorry, excuse me. Rare and commons, structure, show all cards. So I am going to build the iron plating card. Oh, it's cost 240. So wait, I'm just gonna reset the toggles. I need 40 more prestige. I'm gonna take, because I can't use these anyway. I'm gonna break that down. And the Blaze exosuit, and the I don't want to break her down. She's an epic card. I'm gonna keep her. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna. This is a hard choice. Wait. There must be an achievement that gives me a card soon. Let me see. Buildings. I'm gonna build this one. So I'm gonna hurry it along. So build level 2, level 2, level 2. Whoop! Out of resources. No, wait, not out of resources. Yeah, okay, oh. I can only have 2 at the queue at a time. So I'm gonna upgrade that one. And hurry it along. And now I get a refinery of level 2 of each type. And that's gonna... Oh wait, hang on! There's the card that I wanted! Just gonna claim that. I'm just gonna pop it on. And what this card does, it lowers the cost of these production buildings. And I'm gonna continue to get all these 3 to level 5. Now finally they're taking longer than 5 minutes each level, but that's kind of when I stop in the beginning. I take all these 3 to level 5 and all these 3 to level 5. So I'm just gonna craft any card just to show you how it's done. Some rare card, and it's gonna be an industrial card because I just wasted my plasma harvester. Fleet for industries. And I'm gonna get a better plasma harvester card. This guy, this is a +3, so still 240. So I'm just gonna destroy this plasma harvester. Now I have 240, and I'm just gonna do plasma show all, and I'm gonna get the rare version. I'm gonna craft that one. So when if I go to inventory now and see, I knew have the harvester drone, a better version, a better plasma harvesting card. So soon my industrials, they land in 17 minutes and 19 minutes. They're gonna steal resources and bring it back home, so I can build more stuff. I can hurry this building along. That was level 3, level 2, level 3 in progress, and this one, take that one to level 3. So this is my scout. He's gonna find out if there's a solar flare, and the probe on the solar flare, well, any probe lasts 24 hours, so I can monitor this sun for the next 24 hours to see if it's gonna bring me any nice solar flares. This is most of the basics of the game. Build buildings, follow the achievements, build units, raid every NPC you find, and eventually raid players. Protect your stuff from players. Find missions. We've already found 3 missions. We're even doing 1 mission presently. Have a refinery of each type at level 3. Almost done there. Just 2 more to go. Yeah. What more do I want to show you guys? Let's see, hurry this along. Yes! So, avatar levels. The way you build more stations is that you need to increase your influence. You do this, as I said before, by building buildings and outposts. And yes, I'm gonna build 1 outpost for you as well. So you build buildings and outposts to increase each station's influence. All of your station's influence are cumulative and put into the XP yield per hour. So basically, all your stations have influence, and that combined is your experience yield per hour. And eventually, you go up levels. Your avatar goes up levels. As they go up level, each level is going to give you 1 infrastructure point. Currently I have 0 infrastructure points, and my next one should be here in about 5 hours. Let me see. Almost done there. No, we can hurry that one. Another achievement completed. Gives us 800 each and 10. Ooh, nice. Okay. So I get 10 industrial units as well. And my warehouse still has room. So I'm going to press A to achievements. I'm going to claim the reward. Let me see. Have a refinery of each type. Oh, I've done this. Now it's asking for level 4s. Okay. So let's do that. Upgrade to level 4. upgrade to level 4. It's gonna take 20 minutes, and if I'm here I can hurry it, so it's gonna take 10 minutes. These are coming along nicely. So these refinery achievements are pretty nice. It's just these 3 buildings, and you get for level 1, 2, 3, and 4 when you have them all. When you have them all at level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, you get rewarded with resources. The same thing happens for these conveyor lines when you get them to level 5. Now this building here gives you more labor. You start your starting station starts at level 6, but every time you build a new station, it's going to start at everything's going to be at level 0. It gives us 100 labor. If I level it up, it's going to give us 135 labor. That basically. Whoa, hang on. Somebody just blew up something. Interesting. Oh, we missed it. Okay, anyway. Just going to press the down arrow, go back to my station. Perform recon operation. So that means that our scout that we sent to reconnaissance to recon this station here has completed it. Let's just claim our reward. That's 5 more scouts and a scouting card. And in our messages we now have a recon report, no usable data, so it wasn't good enough to find anything out about the station. It's just 1 unit. So we didn't find anything out, but we completed the achievement and got some free units. So now we have these guys. There's nothing for me to do with the industrials at the moment, because I've not found a solar flare yet. So I'm just gonna create a new fleet of industrials. And it's gonna take us. Now we went down 10 labor because it cost 1 labor for each unit to be kept. And I'm just gonna raid this guy again. I know he has more resources, and I just want to steal them all. I just want to keep raiding this guy until he's empty, and then I'm gonna let him recuperate overnight, and then start raiding him again. So there are some achievements. There's one is to write in chat. So I'm just gonna go like, "Yo, yay! Achievement completed. Write in chat." That's going to give us 100 prestige. I should have done that earlier instead of breaking down my cards. But now I've got more prestige to work with later on. So I'm going to show you political view mode. What political view mode does, at first glance it doesn't seem to be doing much. Everything looks pretty much the same. But if I go to Alliance, and I create my Alliance, Tutorial Alliance. So now I have an Alliance. And now I can go to and see all the other alliances in the game, and I can give them a color. So this allows you to monitor the world around you. You can see these pink guys, they get highlighted when I zoom over them. No, when I mouse over them, sorry. So this allows you to watch the world around you. This is my station, and these guys. Oh, what are these guys? Tech Sergeant. I'm gonna right-click this guy, do owner, and see owner. He's in the Orion Brotherhood. Now, if I go to over here to the rankings, I can also open and close this by pressing X. I go to alliances. The Orion Brotherhood is in 5th place. They have 0 strategic points, which is the way you win this game. So the top players here are Admiral and Cassius, followed by Taylor, Vicky, and Joe W. in this little pre-alpha test. The way you win the game, if you see all these little triangles with these little pillars above them, these are what we call strategic hexes. And the alliance that controls the most of these at the end of the game, at the end of the alpha, is declared the winner. So you have to colonize and settle these planets. These are terrestrial planets. You have to settle these guys here and own these to win the game. There are 240 hexes with these planets. You can a little bit mess around with this view mode by you turn off the sectors, turn off the strategic hex points. You can also look at the recent activity. This allows you to take a look at what's happening around you. This is a top recent battle. This is the number 4 battle, and happened 22 hours ago, and Cassius defeated MPL survey commander. Alright, Cassie is active. You can also see the top 10 battles of all time. You can see the top 10 players. Right. So this is the top player here, the yellow guy. This is the station Ares, and it's a level 4 station with 1123 in influence. Belongs to the player called Admiral. Singularity is his alliance. So this way you can see who's top of the charts. So and you can do rivalries or alliance colors. Alright, let's just go back to the normal view mode. I'm just going to press the down arrow to go to my selected station. We can hurry this building along. I see my movements inbound. These are returning. This one will be back in about a minute. Right. Outbound. This one is landing in 7 minutes, landing in 9 minutes, and this one's doing a mission and lands in 13 minutes. Fantastic. So I was talking about the influence and the infrastructure points. I need an infrastructure point to build my outpost. You also need infrastructure points to build your next station. So you can build your station when you have, it costs 10 infrastructure points to build a station and 1 infrastructure point to build an outpost. So your second station is going to be in about 2 or 3 days. Meanwhile, you should focus on getting your first station up to level 4 to unlock all these wonderful buildings to build. Alright guys, we've completed the, we can hurry up this building here. Ooh, I lost 4 minutes. I lost 4 minutes! Oh. I lost 4 minutes. Distracted, damn it. Okay, so we produced 10 corvettes, that's fantastic. We get 10 corvettes more, and the helical railgun, which gives +7 barrage firepower. Fantastic. So we have more units. We're still waiting on the resources to build an outpost. Wait, hang on. We've got a level 5, so this one is not being built. Yeah, that should cover it. It's a pretty nice reward for building this to level 5. Yeah, 4,000 of each. Whoa, hang on. I can only accommodate 3.6k. We have a message. We have rated. Yep. Fantastic. 300. Wait, 300. 400. Yeah. Let me just press F and go to my fleets. Let me see. Type. Cover that. This guy. Yeah, 400. That makes sense. Figures. Math. Finally, we can finish the third level 5. I don't want to claim this right now, because if I do, I'm going to press A and go into achievements. If I do, I'm going to go over my warehouse cap. So I need to build my warehouse first. That's going to take another 14 minutes. 9, because I'm going to be here to hurry the building eventually though. Oh boy, I'm going to build an outpost. Alrighty, we can now hurry the warehouse. We have now enough resources to claim, enough room for resources to claim the achievement. 4,000. Let me see. It takes 4.6. I'll lose 300. So let's just build 10 of these because they cost the most of gas. And press A for achievements. Claim the reward. Now we're fine. Now let's build the scanner. Let's see. Fleet operation, build, scanner. So I don't have enough capacity to ferry those resources. It costs 1.3k metal, 1k gas, and 1.6k crystals to build the scanner. Which requires 3,000. What is it? 3,904. Okay, chalk that up to some alpha calculations. But I only have 1200, so if I do all of these, build scanner, I still don't have enough. So what we can do, and what we will do, is we're going to look for a card that gives cargo space. Here's one. It's a rune that lasts for 16 hours. It gives 50% cargo space. So let's just craft that. We're going to take all the units out of these guys, because we can only put that rune on one fleet. And now we can build the scanner. Yay! Good job, Snuggums. That was me patting my own shoulder. Oh, yeah. Great. Okay, so we still have some leftover resources. We should never have our building queue empty if we can avoid it. So what I'm going to do now is, because I'm pretending this is the end of my session for now. I'm just going to go away. I'm going to go to sleep, go to work, go to school, whatever. So to maximize the time usage that I get, meanwhile, is that I'm going to build a building that takes a long time to build. So I'm going to take this strike command, and it takes almost 2 hours to build one level of it, and it's going to give me 1 speed for raiding, because I want to raid better. I want to raid faster. So I'm going to construct that level, and then I'm going to build another level of the warehouse, so that while I'm away, the warehouse cap is increased and I won't miss out of any of those beautiful resources I'm making. So while we wait for this outpost to build, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this event. So events are different from missions. View fleet event, view mission. So fleet events only spawn for you, and only you can see your fleet events, and only you can complete your fleet events. They are timed, and you need to complete them before they expire. Fleet events give you special cards called commodity cards. So in the commodities category, you can see commodity, show all cards. These are commodity cards, and these are kind of special cards. You need to have these cards to raise the levels of your outpost. You don't need them to build the outpost. You just need them to level the outposts up. And outposts are, in a way, a measure how powerful your stations are. You can have lots of stations, you'll finish a lot of stations, you build all the buildings inside them, get all the buildings to level 10. But not all of your stations are going to have fully upgraded outposts. So you're going to have to kind of focus on which stations are going to have the most powerful outposts, and spend your commodity cards wisely on those. One thing to note is that commodity cards, when you have them, is that you can break them down for resources. I would recommend using this very sparingly and hoard these as much as you can, because you're going to need them. You're going to need all of them. So fleet events are done just like you do missions. You right click and do view fleet event. You select the units to do them. 274. Let me see. There we go. Wait, there we go. Now I can do the meet, and I can send them to the fleet event. And now that's being completed. So one thing you regularly have to do is you have to clean up your stuff, your fleets. So these two are never going to be used again. So I'm just going to right-click them and disband them. Fleets do gain experience as they do stuff. You can see this guy has 0 experience. So I'm just going to get rid of him. And to open up some fleet slots. Now I can do 3 more fleets. Almost about to build this little scanner, baby. Let's see. 40 seconds. 10 seconds. This is my exploration view mode. There we go. We have constructed an outpost, and now we have this scan radius all under these scanners. The scanner is covering, you can see the radius gets highlighted when I mouse over the scanner. And we found this mission. Fantastic. Construct any outpost, and for this I get a lot of resources. Well, that's pretty. But I'm not going to claim it now because I'm about to go to bed. or it's going to leave the game for a little bit. I'm going to claim it later. So good luck to you. Happy space settling.